Hey guys, so it is Women's History Month, which means I wanted to do something kind of special, and a lot of the books I read now are written by women, but I wanted to kind of go into a genre that doesn't have as much female representation, which is classics written by women. Of course, most of these women are white because what is considered English literary canon is always and will always be dominated by British and American writers, which is annoying and the worst, but what else can we do? Bear with me if this list seems super white, because it is. So we have to start with the queen herself, Jane Austen. I think everyone knows Pride and Prejudice, which is absolutely brilliant. You guys obviously know about the romance, but I love the clear expression of Elizabeth Bennet will not take your shit. She is powerful in her own way. Like, it doesn't seem like that much to a modern reader. Jane Austen kind of carved the way for this kind of literature written by women. And also it's just extremely entertaining. Elizabeth Bennet is so sassy and just fantastic, and the romance is top-notch, so everyone should read Pride and Prejudice. Then my favorite underrated Austen, Northanger Abbey, which I love it so much. I don't know why people don't like it. Like, my favorite character in here is Tilney, who is so freaking sassy. Like, the entire time he's just kind of sarcastic, and I love it. But it also features a protagonist who is not necessarily like Elizabeth. She's very like, she's innocent and good and naive, sort of, but just mostly good. She's such a good person, and she makes a mistake and she feels bad about it, and she tries to make up for it, and she's one of my favorite literary characters ever, and I need like a good modern adaptation of Northanger Abbey, like in the form of a book maybe, just because that dynamic is so freaking amazing. I love it. And also it features Catherine and Eleanor's relationship, which is a female friendship where they're both just so wholesome and good and like each other a lot, and it's great. It's awesome. If you want to read something that'll make you happy, read Northanger Abbey, because it's a really good, wholesome classic. And on par with mostly wholesome classics, Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. This book is so interesting in the fact that it can make me so happy and so sad at the same time. It follows, if you guys don't know, four sisters, their father's away at war. It's like this sort of meandering novel about family, and all of the March sisters are so unique. The only true personality test is which March sister are you, by the way, because no other personality test makes any other sense. I think I would like to be a Jo, but I'm actually a Meg, which makes me kind of sad. But yeah, basically, Louisa May Alcott just wrote some real nice girls having normal family problems, and it's great. It's awesome. So read Little Women by Louisa May Alcott in Women's History Month and feel happy. This one's a little bit less wholesome. I Captured the Castle by Dodie Smith. This book I really, really cherish because it was given to me by one of my cousins for my birthday. It's a British edition because they got it in India, and it's so beautiful, isn't it? The plot of this one is these two sisters whose father made all their money by writing this novel live in this like decaying castle, and these two American brothers move in next door, and all sorts of shenanigans happen. There's a kind of twist in here, which is kind of awesome. Super intriguing, and this, you know, the lady who wrote this, Dodie Smith, also wrote 101 Dalmatians, so you know it's good. But yeah, it's one of my favorite sort of underrated classics, and I really liked it. I read it super, super quickly, and it's not like super dense. Like, you can see it's like not crazy, and it's not like super hard read, so I would actually really recommend this one if you aren't super into classics, because it's also a lot more modern. I think it was written in like the 50s, so it's not like as old as Austen. It also has an awesome relationship between these sisters. The voice of it is really unique and just really fun to read. This last one is less old. I think this is like the newest book I have on this. Okay, it was published in like the 80s, but it's still a classic because I read it in English class, so fuck it. Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. Octavia E. Butler is fantastic. She's written so many of these like very specific like 80s vibe fantasy and sci-fi. She's written awesome sci-fi. Yeah, Kindred is about this woman in her house in California is like basically randomly sucked back in time to go save her ancestor's life, but her white ancestor gets really complex because this modern woman, I think this is set in, yeah, like it's set in the 80s and the antebellum South. It explores these dynamics because she gets to know her ancestor and she does want to protect him, but as it goes on, you can see him becoming more indoctrinated and more racist and a terrible person, and the kind of person who would rape a black woman, the kind of person who would rape a slave. It explores race through the medium of time travel, and it was mind-blowing, you guys. I don't even know if I'm explaining it correctly. I loved it. This was one of the few books we read in class that I absolutely adored. Everyone in the class liked it. Literally every person, even the kids who don't like reading, we were supposed to read a chapter and they finished like the whole thing. You guys should definitely support it for Women's History Month because Octavia E. Butler is a fantastic writer. These are just a few of the many classics I love that are written by women that you guys should all read for Women's History Month. Let me know if you have any other classics that you love written by women and if you read any of these books and what you thought about them.